Okay, today we have two, count them, two U2000s. And these were sent in from the same person, along with some extra parts. We got a flyback here and extra parts and pieces as well. One of them is stuck in Shutdown, and I believe it's this one. And this one here was purchased off eBay, and nothing was done to it by the owner except for trying to just turn it on and see what happens. But it's in very dire straits. I gave it a good look over, and there's so much. There's broken pads and bad traces and bad solder joints and busted horizontal width coils, and this is a nightmare. So maybe if we can get the one that's going into Shutdown fixed rather quickly, it may work on this one all in the same video. But as it stands now, we're going to set this one aside, and it's very bad shape. And I'll show that maybe in this video or not. If we can't get this one figured out quickly, it'll be the next video. But we have two U2000s here coming. This one, they sent a note in here. Okay, I cannot wait to understand. Okay, this one's an HV Shutdown. This other one over here, they bought off eBay more recently and didn't do anything other than the light bulb test, which showed no life, which I'll explain why when I get to that one. I already found out most of the reason why. But yeah, did include extra parts and pieces and a cap kit and everything. But this one, he's already done a lot of work to trying to figure out the Shutdown. He's replaced R760, R765, R728, the R104, U701 he's replaced, Q703 is replaced, done a full cap kit, some reflow, B+ pot, all kinds of things. But I don't think the B+ is supposed to be, that's probably somewhat close to where it needs to be. All things like that. So, and there's only one of these. I'll have to swap this one from chassis to chassis. There's only one of these in the box that I found. But yeah, this is I mean, it looks like he's replaced R120 as well. It looks like a lot of work has been done. He's replaced the switch mode power supply chip as well, U101. But I don't know if Shutdown means it turns on and 30 seconds later it turns off, or if it's ticking, or really what that means. It's got a new HOT in it, one of the FJL 6920s, so that's good. So what we're going to have to do is give it a good look over. I've already pretty much done that, and I don't see any bad solder joints or lifted broken traces or busted pads. Everything looks good. There's no cracked joints on the video selector header pins or neckboard interconnect. Flyback looks good. It's got some reflow work done. Looks like he's tried to replace the transformer here on the AC input. R104 pads aren't lifted like most of them are. So what I want to do is, I assume the light bulb test is working, but we're going to do it anyway. So we're going to lift W156. We're going to lift W156 out of circuit right here, which isolates the power supply here from the rest of the chassis. We'll make sure the light bulb test works. If it does, we'll test the HOT. If HOT checks okay, then we're just going to power it up and see if it works. So let's grab the braid here real quick, and we'll pop out 156. It looks like they've already done this, but we're going to do it again just for re-verification. All right, so just to reiterate here, the Shutdown pot is over here. And there's a test point, TP201, I believe it is, right here, TP201. That test point, when the chassis is operational, that test point should read 0.1 volts DC, 0.1. If it doesn't, you have to adjust the Shutdown pot. Now, of course, it's covered in the glue, and I don't believe there's going to be any way for me to, oh, well, no, someone's already removed the glue, and I can turn it. Not very much, but, oh, hey, there we go, broke it loose. Now, I didn't break the pot, we just broke the glue loose. You can see that I got a little bit of it right here that fell off. And we can turn this to our heart's content now. So, after we do our light bulb test, if the HOT checks out okay, then we will hook this up, and if it turns on and operates, we need to adjust this to 0.1, and if it's way out of whack or off of reading from what it should be to achieve 0.1 volts DC, that may just be the problem. But again, it may not even turn on at all. So I don't know. Let's start with our light bulb test. We'll get W156 out of here. There we go. And let's clip on a lead here. Grab our light bulb and our power. Okay, that's all we should need. So let's turn this on. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, don't like that sound, but it works. Okay. Yeah, sometimes these things don't like having no load on it. So once you get the load on there, and it kind of quiets down. So we have an operational power supply section. So let's turn this off and let's discharge it. There we go. That won't hurt anything. It doesn't hurt the chassis to do that. You're discharging the stored capacitance. It's no different than taking a metal lead and going across the filter cap and discharging it that way. It does the same thing. So no danger of damaging chassis that way. Okay, so now that we have it safely able to handle and we know our power supply section works, let's put the jumper back in. All right, and let's not forget to solder it back in, which I've been known to do. Okay, let's test our HOT. Make sure it's not open or shorted. Okay, here we go. Nope. HOT is shorted. So it's not going into shutdown, it's shorting HOTs. What does this say? I cannot wait to understand what's wrong with the U2000. It's still an HV shutdown. Well, of course it's HV shutdown because the HOT is shorted. So we're going to have to yank that out. And verify that it's not something with the pads, because I have seen it many times before where the HOT reads shorted in circuit, but you take it out of the circuit and it's not shorted, and it's something on the pads or the trace that's shorted. Or more technically, I should say it's something on the circuit that's shorted. All right, that should be good. I'm going to turn my fan on here. There you go. All right, now if something is taking out these FJL 6920s, something is really bad, really wrong, because the FJL 6920 is very, very beefy and much more robust than the 3688s or 3686s that are on here. So if something is taking out this, then something is very wrong. So let's see if the HOT is actually shorted. Drop my screwdriver, but here we go. There you go. See, the HOT is not shorted. HOT is not shorted. If we go to back to the leads here, or the pads. Huh. I wonder if the insulator is shorted. Let's see, look at this. No short. No short. Go to the HOT. No short. It's only going to read 0.4 to one leg, and the other leg is open because in circuit it goes, it's 0.5 and 0.5, but out of circuit it's only 0.5 or whatever to one leg, because in circuit these two legs are attached to each other. See, that's normal. The outer two legs should read shorted in circuit because these two are attached to each other. Any day now. There you go. So that's normal. So that's why in a circuit you'll read 0.5 to each leg, but out of circuit you only read it to one. So I wonder if it's a problem with their insulator. And it indeed does appear to be a problem with the insulator. Look at this. Look at that. Yikes. I think our HOT was shorting to the insulator. Look at this. Right here. Right there. I think that it was shorting to the insulator. You can see it right here. So I don't know if we want to try to put this one back in or not. Probably going to be okay. There we go. So that's scraped away. All right. So we need to either reposition this one, or nope, we're not going to be able to reuse this. So I'm just going to grab. Oh yeah, it's not even there. There's just a whole piece missing from the thing right there. Okay, well maybe that might be it. That'll be quick and easy if that's it. Let me grab, I got a whole thing of insulators here. Okay, so I've got the transparent ones here, but the U2000, I forgot to mention this, there's different versions of the U2000, and some of them get absolutely scorching hot on the heatsink. The heatsink is like, 300 degrees. It gets so scorching hot that it just bakes the horizontal width coil here. Now, given that this one is completely intact and it's pretty much in contact with the heatsink, and this plastic isn't heated up or broken or melted, then I have to suspect that this is one of the ones that run at a much lower temperature. Some of them run very cool, some of them run scorchingly hot, and I've not figured out the reason as to why. I've troubleshot this and tried to figure out if it's the diode that's in there, or the resistors, or different capacitors, or different polycaps, or different HOTs, or different flybacks. I've done everything you can humanly possibly think of to try and figure out why some of these run super hot and some of them run super cold. I have not been able to figure it out yet. But for instance, like on this other one that's just destroyed, which we'll showcase later, you can see that it got very hot in here. You can see the discoloration of the coil, and the plastic got so hot you can see how it's brown, that it just disintegrated. So this is one that runs super hot. This must be one that runs super cool. So I don't have an answer as to the differences, but that's beside the point and the scope of this video. So because some of these run super hot, I'm actually going to use 2 of these. I'm going to use, let's go with, I don't want to put a clear one on there. Let's do a couple of these thermal ones here. Let's go with one of these. I'm going to use 2 of them. One of these and one of these. Okay, so now we can put these back. And this is our old one. We'll set that aside. And let's take a couple of these new ones. And along with the HOT, put that through here. And let's set this back in place. Like so. Line these up. And there we go. And it doesn't need to be super tight, just nice and snug. That's all you need. And there you go. So we will solder this back in. Of course the pad is broken, but there we go, now it's fixed. We'll solder this in here. All right, any bets or any takers on whether or not it reads good now? Let's find out. Hey, imagine that. 0.4 voltage drop, 0.4 voltage drop. So, bad insulator. Is that all it was? I don't know. I've already gone over and give it a good look over, and there's nothing that immediately needs repaired or fixed as far as solder joints and whatnot. So let's just plug it in and turn it on. We know our power supply is good, so let's find out. Okay, on the tube, all hooked up, ready to go. Let's turn on test pattern generator. Now, assuming this does work, I have the meter set up to read B+. The B+ test point on the U2000 is right there by the B+ resistor. Actually, I probably should have taken this off first, but there is a little test point right here. It's TP202, so we'll hook on to right there. And let's see if it was just a bad insulator. I have not adjusted any of the color pots or anything. Oops, sorry. Because I'm just going to leave this one. If this works, I'm going to just leave them where they are because they're set for the monitor that they're on. And if it does operate and work, we'll hook up to TP201 right here and test a shutdown pot, make sure it's 0.1 volts and adjust as needed. But let's find out. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that doesn't sound good at all. It did fire up and work. What's our B+ set? Let's try again. Oh no, we got a power supply problem. We got no reading on the B+. You know what I need to do? I'm going to take that B+ pot and set it to center. I think the B+ is way over. Look, it's way too high. I don't even know if that's the right pot. Should be a 1K pot if memory serves here. Let's adjust this down. Let's go to roughly halfway. See what that yields us. Well, what? Oh, herpaderp, I'm a dumbass. 120. Oh yeah, that was way too high. If I turn it up from where it is now, it works. If I turn it up from where it is now, oh yeah, man, someone had this way, because right now it's right at the halfway point. If I turn it up where it was before I adjusted it, it climbs higher. So someone had it way too high. So we'll bring it down here to 117. And if you recall where it was before, I'm sorry, I don't even know if I had that in frame there. 117. If we recall where it was before, look where it is now. Right about middle. And before it was like 3/4 of the way up. So it was way adjusted off, and I was on AC. Sorry. But there we go. And look, it works. Let's adjust our H hold here. Holy crap! Holy crap. Vertical size here. Right there. Vertical position. Right there. Let's adjust our height again. And our H position. It's always hard to do this with one hand. Sorry, I'm not very professional here with the camera tripod and everything. I don't always have it set up. Okay, there's that. And our width control. Yep, that works. So right there is a perfect square image. Let's adjust our focus here. And voila. Okay, contrast is too high. Let's turn our contrast down. And we get right there. Brighten this up a bit. And we're too green, but I'm not going to worry about that. Well, there you go. Bad HOT insulator. I'm assuming. The whole edge there is missing and it was shorting out to the frame. So that'll do it. That'll certainly shut it down. Plus our B plus was adjusted way too high. Now that we have that set, we are at 119. Oh, because I had to adjust everything. We'll go back down to 117. Close enough. Let's go through and make sure we have all of our RGB. Man, way too green. We'll turn green down a bit. There we go, that's better. They can turn it back up if they need to. Yep, I'd say we're good. Not bad. Our red's a bit low, but that's because this tube is tired. I mean, I can turn it up slightly. And nope, it bleeds a bit, so. And green, right there. All right, boys and girls, I think that's a quick and easy fix on that one, and we're still 117.1. Now let's make sure our shutdown pot is 0.1. This won't reach over there, so I have to move it. And we'll have to hook to test point 201 right here. Hacha. All right. Oh, out of focus, sorry. Test point 201 right there, and we have 0.1. 0.12. Probably should get closer to 0.1. Should I reach in here and try this? I'm gonna reach in here and try this. Okay. Oh, can't get better than that. 0.104. So B plus is perfect, shutdown pot is perfect, and we have RGB, full square image, good to go. So I'll go through and do some more reflow and everything and hit the points that I normally hit that weren't hit by the owner. But it looks like we've got a working monitor now. So it just had a bad HOT insulator this whole time. So we'll chalk this one up to an HOT insulator. Now, is this one of the ones that gets hot or cold? Oh, that's not hot at all. That's lukewarm. I can hold my hand on here all day long. That's barely even warm. But I guarantee you that this one is super smoking hot. I have no answer. Like I say, I've tried to figure out why that occurs, but I just simply don't know. I have not been able to figure it out. All the components and everything are identical, but some of them get super scalding hot and some of them are lukewarm at best. If anybody else out there has any idea, you know, chime in, comment down below and let me know, but I have not been able to figure it out yet. And that corresponds to the fact that this one being super cool corresponds to the fact that the coil is not all burned up and broken and discolored from heat damage and things. So, but anyway, we have a working U2000. All right, I think I'm just going to do, with everything that's wrong with this one, I'm going to do this in just a separate video because there is a lot going on. So I'm going to get this one reflowed and inspected a little bit more. Neck board is in fantastic shape. Nothing's even out of whack. I'm going to go through and do the reflow and everything that we need to do and normally do for the transistors and the neck board, along with the main board, and then do my normal burn-in period on it. And then if all that goes okay, I'll upload the video and we'll consider this one done and fixed, and then we'll worry about this one because this one's going to be a whole fiasco unto itself. Trust me, you're going to love it. So, all right. So I guess that's it. So for this one, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Like, share, and subscribe. It's nice to have a nice, quick, easy one on the bench. And stay tuned for this one, and we'll see you then.